Let's take a look at the top 5 US fighter planes today. Before we get started, let's go over the requirements for this list. Each aircraft must have the fighter designation, so no attack planes like the A-10. Be in active service, so no retired airplanes like the F-4. And of course, be part of the United States Armed Forces. Additionally, since this is a list of fighters, we will look at things like maneuverability, weapons loadouts, and combat records to determine our rankings. Alright, now that we have the ground rules in place, let's start at number 5. Coming in at number 5 is the F-35 Lightning. Easily the newest fighter on this list, the F-35 is a single-engine, single-seat, advanced 5th generation fighter. And although the F-35 is actually a family of aircraft, we will be focusing on the air superiority versions. The F-35's main advantage is its stealth. With dual weapons bays, it boasts a smaller radar cross-section than any 4th generation fighter. Additionally, the F-35 also has lower visual and infrared signatures, making it difficult to detect by conventional means as well. Aside from its stealth features, the F-35 also carries arguably the most advanced sensor platform to take to the skies. Along with the advanced AN/APG-81 radar, the F-35 also makes use of an electrical optical targeting system, or EOTS, which makes it the first fighter to have sensor fusion that provides continuous all-direction target detection and identification. This sensor suite provides integrated command and control along with network-centric capabilities, allowing the F-35 to see the integrated battlefield in real time and use this information to gain a competitive advantage. This is all transmitted to the pilot via a helmet-mounted display system that makes the aggregated data easy to access. Using this helmet, a pilot is able to lock on to an enemy aircraft from any angle, meaning the F-35 does not have to be pointing at a target to fire. Without a doubt, the F-35 is the most advanced fighter ever built. However, with its relatively young age and as of yet unproven air-to-air combat record, the F-35 remains a potential fighter. Having said that, the F-35 should climb rapidly up this list in the coming years. Now, let's take a look at number 4. Coming in at number 4 is an absolute workhorse, the Navy and Marine F-18. Aside from being an excellent fighter, the F-18 also serves as a close air support aircraft, electronic warfare platform, and even a fuel tanker. For this list, we will be concentrating on the air superiority configuration, the Super Hornet. The F-18 is a twin-engine, carrier-capable aircraft which is the frontline first response fighter of today's Navy and Marine Corps. In a dogfight, maneuvering can make the difference between victory and defeat. The F-18 achieves agile maneuverability by using leading-edge slats, inherent instability, and a high thrust-to-weight ratio. Additionally, the F-18 has 8 hardpoints that can be outfitted with various air-to-air weapons, ensuring that it can bring more than enough firepower to bear on the enemy fighters and keep it in the fight longer. The Super Hornet also boasts an advanced sensor suite which includes the AN/APG-79 radar system. This radar allows for the tracking of multiple targets, including inbound missiles. Defensively, the F-18 carries radar warning receivers along with chaff and flares. This helps detect threats and defeat enemy missiles. The F-18 has a proven combat record stretching back decades, with its first aerial victories dating back to the 1991 Gulf War. A truly versatile and lethal aircraft, the F-18 remains the tip of the spear for the US Armed Forces. So, which aircraft bested the F-18 on this list? Let's take a look at number 3. Coming in at number 3 is the airplane that is known as the Viper, the F-16. The F-16 is a single-engine, multi-role supersonic fighter aircraft, which was the result of the Air Force Lightweight Fighter program. Incredibly advanced when it was introduced, the F-16 has remained on the cutting edge of fighter performance. The F-16 is even more maneuverable than the F-18 or F-35 due to its designed intentional instability, which is made manageable by the aircraft's fly-by-wire system. This maneuverability, coupled with an engine that can give it greater than 1 thrust-to-weight ratios and clean configurations, provides provides the F-16 with a lethal combination in air combat. With its side-mounted control stick and reclined ejection seat, the F-16 is designed to allow the pilot to better handle excessive G-loads that are encountered in a turning dogfight. Additionally, the F-16 boasts 5th generation radar and sensor packages, sharing common avionics components with the F-35 and F-22. Like the F-18, the F-16 has multiple hardpoints and carrying capacity, ensuring that it can bring more than enough ordnance to a fight. There is a reason that the F-16 is the world's most popular fighter. With a combination of speed, agility, and a relatively low operating cost, the F-16 is a complete package and one of the best in the business. With planned upgrades taking it into 2070, the F-16 will remain a relevant and lethal fighter for decades to come. So, how do you beat the world's most popular fighter? You design an absolute beast of an airplane that embodies air superiority. Coming in at number 2 is the F-15. The F-15 Eagle is a twin-engine, twin-tailed supersonic aircraft that was designed from the ground up to be a fighter. With its amazing speed, surprising maneuverability, virtually unmatched climbing ability, and long range, the F-15 embodies the term air superiority fighter. Using 2 of the same engines found in the Viper, the F-15 can close with and engage enemy fighters rapidly. Additionally, the F-15's long range and endurance give it an advantage, allowing it to stand station or patrol for extended periods of time. When it comes to actual combat performance, the F-15 holds a kill-to-loss ratio that may never be equaled in modern combat: 104 to 0. To put that number into perspective, there are many air forces that do not even have 100 modern fighters. The F-15 has been simply unmatched in air-to-air combat. You might be wondering, what's kept the F-15 out of the top spot? The fact is that in today's battlefield, the F-15 is becoming easier and easier to detect. Possessing virtually no stealth capabilities, the F-15 can be engaged at longer ranges, which can minimize its effectiveness. Additionally, the airframes are aging. With a service life dating back to 1976, the Air Force has already retired all A and B models and plans to phase out the C and D models in the mid-2020s. Because of this, the F-15 barely misses the top spot. Coming in at number 1 is the F-22 Raptor. Thrust vectoring maneuverability, super cruising at Mach 2 without afterburner, advanced stealth characteristics, and super fusion sensor capabilities all combine to make the F-22 Raptor the most lethal fighter in the US inventory today. Built specifically to replace the F-15 and F-16, the F-22 is a result of the Advanced Tactical Fighter program, which spent over a decade in development. The F-22 has an incredibly advanced sensor platform that gives the pilot 360-degree situation awareness and fully implements sensor fusion technology. With its super cruise ability, the F-22 can intercept other aircraft without having to use its afterburners, greatly saving on fuel. Since the F-22 has internal weapons bays, it does not suffer drag-related performance penalties found in other fighters which house weapons externally under the wings. The thrust vectoring engines of the F-22 allow it to engage in high alpha maneuvers, such as the famous Cobra maneuver. These maneuvers can provide an advantage in combat and are simply not possible with conventional fighters. Additionally, since the F-22 can fly at higher cruise speeds and altitudes, it has a 50% greater deployment range for the Beyond Visual Range AIM-120 AMRAAM missile. The F-22 also has 4 internal weapons bays, which allow it to carry a full loadout of weapons and still retain its stealth characteristics. The stealth characteristics of the F-22 can reduce the size of its radar cross-section down to the size of a steel marble, making it very difficult to detect. For the F-22, stealth is almost a luxury. As one Air Force general put it, "Even without stealth, this is the world's best fighter." And finally, the F-22 is so advanced that there is a federal law that prohibits its export outside the United States, making the United States Air Force its only operator. If the F-22 had a weakness, it would be its relatively low number of aircraft in service. With production ended and less than 200 examples built, F-22 forces may be stretched thin on the global stage. Still, it's not difficult to see that in a one-on-one dogfight, the F-22 is America's premier fighter and easily obtains the number 1 spot. What do you think? Were some of these aircraft ranked too high? Too low? Leave your comments below and go ahead and subscribe to see more videos like this one. Thanks for watching and see you next time.